A Royal Life Reimagined, Meghan Markle's Journey Beyond the Crown. From the moment Meghan Markle stepped into the royal spotlight, the world watched with bated breath. But in 2020, that narrative took a dramatic turn. Alongside her husband, Prince Harry, the Duchess of Sussex made a choice that reverberated across continents. They would no longer serve as senior members of the British monarchy. It wasn't just a break from tradition, it was the start of an entirely new chapter. California's sun and a new rhythm of life. The decision wasn't made lightly. Years of relentless media scrutiny, racial undertones in press coverage, and the weight of royal protocol had taken their toll. When Meghan and Harry relocated to Southern California, they weren't just seeking sunshine, they were chasing peace. Tucked away from palace walls and press lenses, they've turned their focus inward, building a home and a life centered around their two children. Archie, born in May 2019, and Lilibet, who arrived in June 2021. Following King Charles III's ascension in 2022, both children now officially carry royal titles, Prince Archie and Princess Lilibet of Sussex. Yet, their parents are determined to shield them from the public stage, choosing privacy over pomp. There are no staged balcony appearances or royal christenings for the cameras. Instead, their childhoods are quietly unfolding in Montecito's tranquil hills, where swing sets replace stately gardens and bedtime stories matter more than royal obligations. Meghan's voice in a noisy world. Stepping away from palace life didn't mean stepping out of the public conversation. If anything, it gave Meghan Markle the freedom to speak louder and with more purpose than ever before. Where royal protocol once advised silence, Meghan now uses her voice to spotlight causes close to her heart. Mental health, gender equality, racial justice, these are not just hashtags for her. They are lived experiences woven into the fabric of her identity. When she opened up about her own mental health struggles, it was raw, honest, and for many, a turning point in how we understand the emotional cost of public life. Through the Archewell Foundation, which she co-founded with Harry, Meghan is turning advocacy into action. Archewell isn't just a nonprofit, it's a mission statement. It projects uplift marginalized voices, fund mental health programs, and promote community healing. Whether it's backing a digital mental health toolkit for teenagers or supporting Afghan women displaced by conflict, Meghan's fingerprints are on efforts that aim to build not just awareness, but real change. Her work resonates far beyond royal watchers and tabloids. It speaks to women who've felt unheard, to people of color who've faced coded criticisms, to anyone who has ever questioned their place in a room that wasn't built for them. When truth challenges tradition, Meghan and Harry's story, told in their own words through Netflix's Harry and Meghan and Harry's memoir Spare, has peeled back the layers of royal life in a way few expected and many welcomed. The docuseries doesn't just show glamorous red carpet moments, it digs deep into their struggles, their doubts, their heartbreak. It portrays a couple trying to navigate the impossible, love in the spotlight, truth in an institution built on silence. Spare was equally revelatory. Prince Harry offered a first-hand account of the emotional cost of growing up royal, the grief of losing his mother, the pressure to conform, the rift with his brother, and the media's role in all of it. These weren't salacious tabloid tales. They were deeply personal memories, shared with the vulnerability of someone who no longer wishes to wear a mask. Of course, the response has been polarizing. Some accused them of turning private matters into public spectacle. Others saw bravery. Finally, someone from within the palace walls calling attention to issues often swept under royal rugs. But no matter the opinion, one thing is undeniable. Meghan and Harry's openness has reshaped how the world views the royal family. They've made mental health part of the conversation. They've put a spotlight on race and representation within centuries-old institutions. And they've shown that royal titles don't need to come at the cost of personal truth. Redefining what it means to be royal. In many ways, the Sussexes represent a generational shift within the monarchy. They are not alone in pushing boundaries, but they are perhaps the most visible and the most scrutinized. Where Prince William has chosen a path more aligned with royal tradition, Harry and Meghan are forging a new kind of public life, one that mixes advocacy, media, and family values in equal measure. They're not rejecting the crown entirely. They're just refusing to be defined by it. This evolution reflects a broader question: what does it mean to be royal in the 21st century? Is it attending ribbon cuttings in tailored suits, or is it using your voice to challenge systemic injustice? For Meghan and Harry, it seems to be the latter. They've chosen to show the messy, human side of royalty. Not the fairy tale, but the reality, the nights of doubt, the moments of defiance, the quiet courage of choosing your own path. Parenthood, privacy, and the freedom to choose. Through all the noise and headlines, Meghan and Harry's top priority remains clear: their children. They've drawn a boundary, firm and unwavering, around Archie and Lilibet. While their names may be etched into royal history, their lives are being shaped by bedtime routines, hikes through California canyons, and dinners at the family table. Not palace banquets. The choice to raise their children outside the fishbowl of royal life is a radical one, but also deeply relatable. In a world of viral photos and relentless commentary, every parent longs for a space where their kids can simply grow up. Yet the world will keep watching. Questions will arise about what roles Archie and Lilibet might someday play within the royal family. But Meghan and Harry seem unbothered by speculation. What matters more is instilling in their children a strong sense of self, one rooted in empathy, respect, and resilience, not just lineage. This commitment to privacy is not a retreat, it's a declaration of love. A choice to protect, to preserve, to prioritize the small, sacred moments over spectacle, building a legacy of purpose. With each passing year, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle are not just redefining royal life, they're building a legacy that speaks to purpose over protocol. Theirs is a story of bold choices, heartfelt convictions, and the kind of leadership that doesn't wear a crown but still commands respect. In many ways, their journey has mirrored the growing divide between tradition and transformation. For centuries, the British monarchy has operated under strict rules: speak little, feel less, and always keep the curtain drawn. But Meghan and Harry chose instead to draw the curtain back. Not to burn bridges, but to let in light. Through Archewell, their message is consistent: compassion, connection, and courage can be more powerful than ceremony. And while the world often fixates on what they left behind, it's what they're building now that truly defines them. Their public appearances are purposeful, whether speaking at UN events, working with veterans, or visiting schools. Each action is grounded in values, not vanity. Meghan doesn't attend galas for the headlines. She sits in circles with mothers rebuilding after trauma. Harry doesn't show up for photo ops. He builds mental health apps for soldiers returning home. Bridging the divide between royalty and real life. What makes their story so compelling isn't just the drama or the departure. It's how relatable it feels. So many people see pieces of themselves in Meghan's experience. The outsider trying to fit into a tightly sealed system. The working mother balancing personal identity with public scrutiny. The woman who dares to say, "This is too much," and steps back before breaking. And Harry, once the spare in royal terms, is now a symbol of chosen vulnerability. He's no longer the boy walking behind his mother's coffin in silence. He's the man speaking openly about the trauma that Walk left behind. His candor about grief, therapy, and the long road to healing has resonated with veterans, fathers, and sons around the world. They've created a bridge between the palace and the people, one where emotion isn't seen as weakness, but as courage. Where service doesn't require a scepter, just sincerity. A polarizing pair and a powerful one. Of course, no path this public comes without its thorns. For every admirer who sees them as modern trailblazers, there's a critic who accuses them of chasing celebrity. Their every move, be it a podcast episode or a red carpet photo, is dissected, debated, and too often distorted. The British tabloids, in particular, have painted Meghan as everything from a rebel to a manipulator. But beneath the noise is a woman who's never stopped standing her ground, even when it shook beneath her. And Harry? He's faced accusations of betrayal, of abandoning his duties. But he remains firm in his belief that protecting his family is not a rejection of duty. It is his duty. They know the cost of their decisions, but they've made peace with it, choosing authenticity over appeasement. And in doing so, they've carved out a space where being royal is not about tradition but about truth. Their children, a quiet inheritance. What Archie and Lilibet will inherit is more than a family name. They are growing up with an example few royal children have had, parents who chose their well-being over public favor. The values being passed down aren't wrapped in velvet or stitched into uniforms. They're lessons in empathy, in knowing when to speak up and when to walk away. It's bedtime stories about kindness and breakfast conversations about fairness. It's knowing the weight of a title, but also the freedom in choosing how to carry it or whether to carry it at all. Will the world still expect them to step into royal shoes someday? Probably. But Harry and Meghan seem intent on giving them more than just options, they're giving them agency. It's a subtle rebellion. Not against the monarchy itself, but against the idea that one must choose between royal identity and personal autonomy. The Sussex children, if anything, may grow to redefine what it means to be royal from the inside out. Looking ahead. A new model of influence. Meghan and Harry are no longer bound by royal schedules or state functions, but their influence remains undeniable. In Hollywood, they are producers with purpose, backing projects that center marginalized voices and untold stories. In philanthropy, they are thought leaders who understand that change doesn't come from press releases, but from persistent effort. And in family life, they are parents who value presence over performance. What lies ahead is still unwritten. There will be chapters of reinvention, challenges to face, and perhaps more moments of tension between personal values and public expectations. But one thing is certain, they are not fading into anonymity. Their choices, some celebrated, others criticized, continue to spark global conversations about race, gender, mental health, and what it truly means to live a life of service. In a world starved for authenticity, they are offering theirs unapologetically. An uncommon love story. At its heart, the Sussex story is also a love story. Not the fairy tale kind ballrooms and carriages, but the kind that fights to survive storms and chooses honesty over harmony. It's the story of a prince who followed his heart not just across oceans, but into a new understanding of himself. It's the story of a woman who entered history's most scrutinized institution and chose to keep her voice intact. Together, they are not perfect. They've made missteps, they've misjudged, they've been misrepresented. But they've kept going hand in hand, often against the tide. In the end, Meghan and Harry may never return to the roles they once held. But perhaps they've found something better. A life built not on inherited titles, but on chosen truths. Their journey reminds us that courage often comes not from standing still, but from walking away. That family can mean different things to different people. And that sometimes the bravest thing you can do is start over on your own terms.